Pages, Pixels, Pieces. This segment is brought to you by the Fantasy Shop in Maplewood, Missouri. We're proud to have our local comic shop as our official sponsor. Comics, collectibles, toys, Magic the Gathering, and board games. The Fantasy Shop in St. Louis, proudly serving the St. Louis area since 1981. I want to thank them, as always, for our weekly giveaway. We'll mention the special hashtag this week in just a moment. Don't have a photo yet, but we are excited that our good friend Alex, the comic hoarder, won our last giveaway. So he's going to send us a photo. Going to send us a photo of him with all of his winnings, and then next week we'll be able to share, or the next episode, we'll share with you who wins this week. So again, give us a little time to get things situated with the move to a new location, but still excited to share that with you. We have comic out this week. We have comics from last week we want to talk about, and some video game news. Let's just dive in real quick. Poe Dameron, 27. This is still right after The Last Jedi. We find out that Poe was a probe for a mission. David, you want to take this one?
Yeah, because it wasn't very good. This is the second of this storyline. The beginning has a nice little moment where Leia walks into the cockpit of the Falcon, and she envisions Han, and then it disappears. And then Nianda just kind of walks in and fist bumps Chewie, and yeah, that's about it.
That's his best moment.
But then it goes back out to the table where we've got Finn, Poe, and Rey, those three people, the new ones, sitting at the table, and then Finn gets up and walks away to talk to Rose, because apparently she's still relevant, and then there's kind of an awkward moment between Poe and Rey until a Porg pops out, and my favorite part of the comic, by the way, even Rey says that the Porgs are adorable, so you know it has to be true now. And then they just have a little conversation about how I'm kind of surprised we've never met before, and Poe tells a story about how where he was and did some reconnaissance work, and it was dumb.
Okay.
It was dumb.
Do you have anything to add on that?
You're going to be kind of proud of me. I read 2 of the 3 comics this week.
And he has a good reason for not reading the third one, too.
Yeah, that's true. What did you think of Poe?
So, now, unfortunately, I didn't have time to go and read previous issues of Poe.
Don't just tell me about this issue.
But this particular issue, it started good with that moment in the cockpit.
Started good.
And
then it dive bombed into the ground.
I thought you were going to say like tailspin or nosedived.
It just, honestly, it just really didn't do anything for me. I kind of felt the artwork was kind of a downgrade compared to Vader.
Phil Noto does the artwork, and it's just, for me, like, it's hit and miss. Like, I like the covers, but I think the art kind of wears on you in the issue.
Yeah.
The art doesn't bother me as much in this one. Not as much as the main line with the faces.
Salvador LaRocca, rip.
The writing on this one, some of it just, I was like, okay, that's kind of nice. But it just really did not click with me. I really was disappointed with it.
I think the Poe Dameron series, and I think the people who really enjoy it like it for the writing, because it's writing heavy. It's a writing heavy series, where I think if you look at the Vader run, or if you look at some of the, I'm trying to think of something that was really, the Mace Windu miniseries was very story heavy, very wordy.
Yes.
It was very wordy. And that's kind of how I look at Poe Dameron. Like, I feel like Charles Soule is a little bit more in-depth, a little bit more detailed with this series, which I don't mind, because he's doing multiple runs. I want them to be different. I want them to have unique aspects.
And I want Darth Vader to stay good.
Yeah, so whatever he's doing, keep on doing it. So that's Poe Dameron 27. I would like your feedback. If you're reading Poe Dameron, let us know what you think, because this is the second issue after the time jump. So they did the first 25 issues, and then they jumped in time, and that brought us right up to the moments right after The Last Jedi ended. And so the first episode was the first issue, that issue number 26, was going back in time to explain how Poe escaped Jakku, how he survived the TIE fighter crash and all that fun stuff. An issue that I vaguely enjoyed. Fair enough. Okay, let's go on to the next one then, Darth Vader 16.
Woohoo! I love this one.
All right, so Jesse does not read comic books often, but he reads Darth Vader comics. We're here on Mon Cala. Vader is hunting down Jedi Master Bar and his followers. You have Lee Char, who is the leader, and he's a troublemaker for the Empire. And then there's this whole war happening. What were your thoughts?
I really enjoyed this one. For me, it was the end of the comic that really just got my attention.
We don't want to spoil it yet, but it's a good ending.
Let's just say it involves Master Bar, some clones and some history there,
Okay.
and he utilizes it.
Yeah. That's
That would
good.
have been a great code word for our comic giveaway this week.
Oh, what?
Well, if I say it, it'll spoil it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we'll stick to the earlier.
Okay, we will. We will. Well, we haven't given
But
it
10
away
out of
yet.
10.
We haven't changed the hashtag yet.
We could, but it'll spoil the comic for
Okay,
those who
You
haven't read
definitely
it.
spoil it.
All right, so Jesse had to be very generic about the comic because he's not trying to spoil it. David, can you give us a little bit more of the specifics of what this comic story, this issue is about?
Yeah, so Master Bar and his, I don't know, I thought at one point they were like maybe Padawans.
I thought they were Force sensitive, but it just seems
But
like they're lost souls that he's gathered.
Maybe they're just kind of like acolytes of some sort. People who are helping out Jedi Master Bar. They evacuate after they find out that Lichar kind of gave away their position when he was being tortured. And as they're escaping, basically each one of these acolytes, these minions, kind of sacrifice themselves in order to give the rest of them more time to get away. And every time they kind of sacrifice themselves to stall, to shoot, to fire, to do whatever they need to do to try to buy their pals some more time, we get a couple panels, a page or two of their backstory of how they met Master Bar, how they are those lost souls before they die. So that was a little depressing.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you look at it and it's like, okay, so Vader is the hero of this comic.
Yeah.
We know that he's a bad guy, but he's the hero.
He is.
So here he is, just
so great.
But then the very, very last scene, when he finally gets to Jedi Master Bar, I think we can all say right now might be the best part of the comic series so far.
Yeah, I don't want to. Okay, so we have a tendency to spoil just spoil these comics, and we won't do it for this issue because
really
it
don't
is
want
literally so good. If you like the prequels, if you wish there would have been more carnage at the end of the prequels, if you like the Jedi lore, if you like the extinction of the Jedi, if you like clones, if you like the conflict of clones and how like clones aren't just clones, but they have this ability to to develop their own personality. If you like any of that, you will love this issue. And that's why you'll want to enter our contest in like 5 minutes. So that way you can win this comic for free. We'll mail it to you in a full back with Mylar so it displays well and stays safe. And then you'll be able to read it for yourself and just know why we're just... I cannot say enough about this comic book series. It literally, I thought the Darth Vader, the 2015 run, was the best Star Wars comic I had read in a while.
Which the Gillen run is still phenomenal.
It's still phenomenal.
We're not knocking it.
But Charles Soule in 16 issues has the best Star Wars comic run of new canon, and I think if you even brought in the EU stuff, it would still be one of the top 5 runs. It's just that good. Thrawn number 4. It's not really a run. I almost knocked off the AT-AT.
Yeah, that really. I was like, oh.
Every day I sit here watching that jiggle back and forth between the two of you.
Every day I
And
wake up.
every
pour
week
myself
I
a
see
cup.
that bookshelf leaning a little closer towards
Part
the
of me just
door.
wants the AT-AT to go over like classic Hoth style, like
Just, yeah.
you know. But
That would really stink because I'm supposed to move that in like 5 days. I really don't want to have to put it back together. Thrawn number 4 came out, and this is, I want to say this is the second to last or the third to last issue of the Thrawn miniseries. It is either 5 or 6. David's looking that up right now, but I think it's a great follow-up to the third issue, and obviously the third issue was, though, about exploring Thrawn and Price and kind of like the formation of their relationship.
There will be 6.
It'll be 6 total issues, so this is number 4, so 2 to go. Get on this if you like Thrawn. Maybe you don't know about Thrawn, you want to learn more about the character. Maybe you read the novel and you'd like to ingest this version of that story.
Maybe you don't like to read like Jesse, so you want to go with the comic.
yeah, this is the comic I
you're-
skipped.
Right, you're reading the novel. But either way, I think this is, like for me, I read the novel, really enjoyed the novel, but I like the comic better for the story's sake because it's just a lot more concise. It cuts through a lot. Timothy Zahn's writing style can sometimes take a while because I really think he writes as Thrawn, which is a cool thing. But I really like this issue for a lot of reasons. One, it's the progression of the story. One, I like the fact that our buddy Vanto gets his promotion.
Yes.
Finally. After all this time, he's no longer ensign. He is commander.
He jumps up quite a few ranks. Very impressed by that.
Which is nice because there's this line where it's like, for everything that Thrawn knows, he cannot, he doesn't understand like imperial politics. Like he doesn't understand like ranking and stuff. But I think it's my point. That's my favorite moment only because when you read the novel, Vanto definitely seems like he's helping Thrawn, and he's kind of like an unsung hero. You know, he's like Thrawn's wingman, but not trying to get Thrawn laid, because that's not his MO. That's not what he's going after. David, you read this issue. You seem to be a real fan of this miniseries. What sticks out?
Issue number 3 I wasn't overly fond of.
Yeah, you don't like Bryce.
No, and there wasn't a whole lot of Thrawn in that issue, which...
Yeah, there wasn't as much.
But whatever. You know, if you have a book, it's got to be a lot thicker than just 6 comics put together.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know who this Night Swan fellow is or why he's important yet. So I guess every time they talk about him in the last 2 issues, I don't get it.
By the way, nothing you've heard ruins anything, just so you
know. I mean, Thrawn does his thing where he fixes an issue and he does it his way, and it's not necessarily the most politically correct way to do it. So he kind of gets called back to Coruscant, reprimanded, and then he becomes a Commodore. So I guess it all worked out in his favor.
And what was that issue again? What was that conflict? I think we can say that much.
Can we say that? He goes to dispute a... it's like a border territory between 2 species on the same planet. The basically the humanoids are going over to the aliens group, and they're wrecking the farms. And it turns out there's a conspiracy there going on where some of the human folk are trying to mine basically spice. What makes spice. And so technically mining, that's not illegal. It's
spice is like the cocaine of the Star Wars galaxy.
So the stuff that makes, and it's kind of like Sudafed, you know, it can make what, meth or something. So you go and, you know, the stuff that they're mining is not bad, but what it turns into is illegal. But they're encroaching on these aliens' land to do so.
Thrawn just blows them up.
Yeah, just blows them up.
I mean, like, not just like a bomb. Like, not just like a grenade,
pulls in a Star Destroyer, which turns on its side, and just... Boom!
Oh, man.
And it's a great panel. It is a great panel. I really like it because Chimera, I think I'm saying that correctly, which is his Star Destroyer. Thrawn has, like, the art on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. That gets explained, and it goes on its first couple of missions.
Chimera?
Yeah. That thing.
Yeah, Chimera.
Okay, so I'm saying... Okay, so I said it wrong.
Yes, very
but
wrong.
CH whatever.
CHIMAERA.
The point being is, if you're a fan of Rebels, it pays off, and if you're a fan of Thrawn, it really pays off. Are you happy with that?
I am.
I mean, you didn't read it, but you'll like the novel. Just take the damn book and read it.
I have it.
All right, well, it's that time of the show where it's paid off. You've plotted through so far with us, and we appreciate the effort. It's now time to do the weekly giveaway. This week's worth of books, and we got a bundle for you because we're not just doing Poe Dameron 27. We're also going to throw in there Darth Vader 16 and Thrawn number 4. And, folks, in honor of Han Solo coming out on May 25th, 2018, the hashtag this week is Han Shot First. So what we need you to do is to go in the comments right now and just type in hashtag Han Shot First. Hashtag or pound Han Shot First. Going to comment there. You've entered the contest. We'll do the drawing on Friday. We'll announce it on Friday's social media.
Yep.
And the following episode of Beyond the Blast Doors. Okay, so we're going to try and be efficient there. But win that bundle of comic books, we ship it out for free. You literally just have to enter the contest hashtag Han Shot First. And, of course, we want to thank our sponsors, the Fantasy Shop in Maplewood, Missouri, for making that possible. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. You can watch other videos just like this one right now by checking out these videos on your screen. And by the way, thanks for checking out Beyond the Blast Doors.